All right. Okay, everybody. Well, it's that time of year again. Welcome, and thank you guys for joining. This is the NHCS Winter Sports Info Session, something I like to do before each sports season, mostly because it seems pretty difficult to get everybody available at the same exact time, considering how crazy all of our schedules are. So this is sort of the answer to that. What I'll be doing here is recording, and then I will be posting to YouTube and sending to all of your emails. And then I will also send a PDF document of this exact same presentation to your emails as well. And hopefully that's the most efficient way to do this. I'm big on communication, and this seems to be the best way to make that happen. So once again, welcome. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that are new to our family this year, I am the athletic director at the school. My name is Scott Urban, and we are going to dive into the winter sports season and what that entails. So without further ado, this year we have a whole bunch of new offerings, which is great. We've got a growing population. We are finally fully outfitted as a school, meaning we have a junior and senior class for the first time ever, at least during a winter sports season that hasn't been cut short by COVID. So with that being said, we are offering cheerleading this year, which is co-ed. We are offering step, which is co-ed. We are offering middle school girls basketball, middle school boys basketball. For the first time ever, we are going to try and offer an indoor track and conditioning program. We are having a JV boys basketball team, a JV girls basketball team, a varsity boys basketball team, and a varsity girls basketball team. So truly fully outfitted this year, which makes me incredibly proud. And it also kind of just speaks volumes to the student population here as a whole. Just involvement in athletics is growing year after year. So it's great to see, and I'm very, very happy to be able to offer all of these things. Now, the plan for this is we're going to dive into each of these specifically, just so we can go over every offering as a whole, so you guys have a good idea about what to expect when the season does ultimately start. Apologies, my walkie. But before we do that, I do want to go over some requirements, because there is oftentimes questions about what the requirements are to participate in athletics here at NHCS. So I'm going to start with the most important. Students must have an up-to-date physical on file with the school. And now when I say up-to-date, that means this physical can be no older than 13 months. Okay, so it has to be a recent physical. Okay, it needs to be on file with the school to try out and participate in athletics at NHCS. Put quite simply, it's illegal to not have that to participate. I need to know things like allergies. I need to know height and weights. I need to know all of these things. It's a Commonwealth law. It's a Massachusetts state law. And to participate, I need to have that physical on file. Unfortunately, this has been something we've had trouble with in the past, which is why I'm hoping that getting this video out as soon as possible will hopefully eliminate that problem. So that is the goal here. Please, please, please make sure I have that physical on file. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be a hard copy. You can take a photo of whatever your primary care provider has given you after the physical appointment, and you can send that to me via email. And my email will be listed on the last slide of this presentation. Okay. So that's okay. You can scan me a copy of it. You can bring in that physical copy, whatever is easiest for you. I can make work on my end. I need to have that document in my possession for your scholar to participate in athletics. Okay, so that's the most important one. All right. Beyond that, there are multiple requirements that we have as a school, that we've set forth as a school. Students at NHCS must maintain a passing grade in all of their academic classes to participate in sports. If you're failing any classes, unfortunately, you are unable to participate in games for whatever sport, whatever team you've made. okay? Just to give you an example of like what that may look like. We do academic eligibility checks every Friday. So I run every athlete's name. If they are failing a class, it flags them and it lets me know who it is. That student is then notified and the coach is then notified. So the coach knows to sit that student for the remainder of the week, okay? So the goal is for that student to be notified and then make those changes during the week in hopes that they can play next week when the next eligibility check is done, okay? Student can still practice. Student can still ride the bus, okay? But student cannot participate in games, in varsity sanctioned games or JV sanctioned games. That student cannot participate unless they're passing all classes, okay? Athletics will always be a privilege here at NHCS. Athletics are a privilege. I very, very strongly stress that and preach that, okay? It's the reason why you're called a student athlete. The student part comes first, okay? So if you want to play, you got to have your grades right. You need to be on time to school, meaning you need to be in your homeroom at 8:00 a.m. if you want to play in a game that day. Okay, there's no tolerance for tardies. Student has to be on time, needs to be on time, unless there is an excused absence, whether it be a doctor's appointment, anything from a parent or guardian that would signify proof and would signify a valid reason that that student wouldn't be on time for the day. Students must not receive referrals on game days. If there is a referral received on a game day, punishment will be given out depending on the severity of the offense. So, you know, that may mean sitting a half, that may mean sitting a quarter, that may mean sitting the whole game. It may even mean a multitude of game suspension. Okay, so again, behavior, academics, those are things that come first. They always come before athletics. Again, I want to preach that athletics will always be a privilege, always be a privilege, never something that should be taken for granted. Okay. Season information. I wish I could give you more information in regards to locations and times and things like that. Unfortunately, right now, the state of court space in the city is really, really difficult to come by. So as it stands right now, we don't really have any set locations or times locked in. There's obviously, you know, a bunch of stuff that we've had in the works since the summer even that we're just working on kind of ironing the kinks out on and making happen for the winter season. So as I get more information and as things start to get confirmed, I can dish that information out to everybody, and I will do so as soon as I possibly can. I just can't give any information out quite yet, just due to the uncertainty of everything going on around the city with court space right now. That said, I will have everything locked in by the time tryouts start. And again, tryouts will begin on November 29th, which is the Monday after Thanksgiving break. That is the first day we can legally host a tryout during the winter season with coaches. So that is the day that we're doing it. So we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to hit it hot, and we're going to make sure that everybody is ready come first game. So that is the deal. Again, I apologize about the uncertainty. We'll get you guys that information as it becomes known to me. And you will, trust me, be the first ones to know. Like I said before, I'm huge on communication. So I will get this information out to you guys. That being said, the season ends on February 24th. The winter season is a long one. And part of that is due to the number of breaks that we have during the winter season. So obviously there is the Christmas time break, the holiday break at the end of December, and there's also a February break that has to be accounted for. So, you know, the winter season ends up being right around 3 months long, which is pretty extensive. It's a long time, and it's a big commitment for our scholars and for you guys as parents and guardians. It's a lot of time, and it's important. You know, we're talking about varsity athletics here. All right. The program is only going to ever be as serious as we make it. And we, in our 4th year here now, it's serious, and we want to make it serious, and it's a large commitment, and we realize it's a big lift on your end. And if it's something you don't think that you can handle or your scholars should handle or could handle, it's worth considering whether or not you actually want to try out or come out for the team. So like I said before, I don't say this to scare anybody off, but it is a commitment, and we want to take it seriously. So cheerleading, head coach Kelly Glenn. This is Kelly's 3rd season as the head coach. Cheer is a co-ed offering. Everybody's welcome, all inclusive. We structure the season with 2 competitions per year, and if students do well enough in those 2 competitions, they are entered into a championship competition that will determine the winner for the duration of the season. We compete within the NCSAO, which is the Massachusetts Charter School Athletic Organization, and we compete against all the other charters in the Eastern Mass area, and some Western Mass schools even come out for the charter tournaments. And it's a great thing. It's a great league to be a part of, and we're very honored as a school to be thought of and to be a part of this league. So again, cheer, 2 competitions and 1 championship, and then more importantly, the cheer team is the backbone of the culture here at NHCS, at least during the winter season. The cheer team performs at halftime for all of our varsity girls and boys basketball games. We will continue that tradition this year as well. They will also cheer during the game, which is pretty standard, but something to look forward to for all of our basketball games is the awesome halftime shows that Coach Kelly and the cheer team put on. And this is a photo of them at one of the competitions. This was at Excel in East Boston. They did an awesome job. Really, really fun to watch. STEP is structured the exact same way. This is our first ever year hosting STEP as a varsity offering. And yeah, it is essentially, again, like I said, the exact same thing as cheer. There are 2 competitions. There's a championship meet, and then also halftime performances and performances throughout the basketball games. Middle school girls basketball. Let's see here. Middle school girls basketball is going to be coached by Charlene Fernandez. This is her 4th year as the head coach, and she will be assisted by Tiffany Lawrence. And Tiffany is in her 3rd year being a part of the program. This offering is for 6th and 7th grade students only. Again, 6th and 7th grade students only. We like to keep it a part of the middle school campus as much as possible. We will be, again, competing within the NCSAO against all of the other middle schools that are a part of that division. This includes schools like Davis Leadership Academy, Brooke Mattapan, Brooke 8th Grade Academy, Conservatory Lab, a bunch of other schools, middle schools in our area. So the competition is actually pretty solid and very similar to the varsity schedule. At the end of the season, there will be a playoffs and a championship game to crown the winners of the league. So again, very fun program, very fun in regards to just NHCS community in general, which brings me to our middle school boys program, which again is structured the same way as the girls. I just want to speak a little bit more to the community aspect of having the middle school program and what that means for our high school program. We are blessed that we have this program because it allows for us to feed into our high school program, right? These kids are getting the same exact playbooks at the middle school level as our high schoolers would be. So by the time they get to the high school program, they have an idea of how Coach Massey runs that program and how Coach Charlene runs the girls program. And it's really, really nice to see sort of that continuity. It's nice to have them practice at the similar times that we have them practice at, because they get to see, hey, you know, these are the older kids. This is what they're doing. This is what I have to look forward to when I, graduate from 7th grade and move on to 8th grade and 9th grade and so forth. So it creates a great sense of community, and it also creates just the fluidity between programs. Everybody's on the same page. We're learning the same plays. We're learning the same coaching styles. So it's all good stuff. It's all very good, and I'm excited to be able to offer it. This is a picture of our boys varsity team from a couple years back. Coach Massey in the middle here is the head coach. He's in his 4th year as the head coach of the program. Kat Walker is the assistant coach, also her 4th year. She's right here. This year we'll be offering a JV program, which will be grades 8 through 11. And this is for students who, maybe aren't ready for varsity level play. It's for younger students like the 8th graders who are just getting their feet wet and may not be big enough to compete against the varsity programs around the city. So it's being able to offer them a schedule, and it's being able to offer them practice time and gym space to get themselves ready and used to Coach Massey and how he coaches, and get them ready for varsity level play whenever they are ready to make that jump. So that's why we have the JV program, and that's why we're adding it on this year. Varsity will encompass all grade levels, with hopes that we can generate a 20-game schedule with practices 5 times a week. So again, that's a huge commitment, not only for the athletes, but it is also a huge commitment for you guys as parents and guardians. And we understand that. But again, we are trying to create a serious contending program here. And the only way to do that is to, create a sense of urgency and create a sense of importance here. And 5 days a week is going to do that. So that's what we're doing. That's how we're going to run it. And, we hope you see it the same way we do. But again, this is a varsity program. This is a varsity sport, and this is how other schools do it, and this is how we're going to do it. So again, it's a lot, but if there are any questions about it, you can let me know and shoot me an email. Same exact thing I said for the guys program applies to the girls here. JV program as well. We're offering JV this year. We're also, of course, offering varsity. Same thing. The girls will play before or after the boys on game days. Hopefully we can generate a 20-game season. It looks promising. And yeah, 5 times a week. Huge time commitment. I won't reiterate anything I said. I think I covered it all in the last slide, but yeah, it's a lot. So be ready for it. Okay. And then again, this is Coach Charlene, and this is the girls team from a couple of years back. This year is the first year we are going to offer indoor track and conditioning. Still TBD on a head coach. We're searching. We're looking for people who are willing to step up and take on the role. But this is a way for students to stay fit during the off season. If there isn't a winter sport offering that fits their needs and their interests. So the goal here is to register our students as independents and have them compete at the Reggie Lewis Center against other public schools. The reason for that being is our charter league does not offer indoor track as a varsity offering during the winter. So we would compete against public schools, which is pretty exciting as well. So that's the goal for that. Again, it's a way for students to stay in shape, and it's also a way for us to just offer, something for students who aren't interested in basketball, or who aren't interested in cheer, or who aren't interested in step. So we are one of the only charter schools in the area that offer this. So it's exciting. And we've seen a lot of interest from the scholars already this year. So very excited to move forward with this. And then this last slide, like I said, is just some useful contact information. I've included myself and all of the coaches, our emails. Feel free to contact any of us whenever you guys have questions. I can't stress that enough. Communication is key. I will be doing my best to communicate with you all. But if there are things that I don't cover in this presentation, or if there are things that suggestions you may have for me, or really anything, feel free to reach out to me through email or any of the coaches here. We'd be glad to help you. We are here to help you. We want to help you, and we want to make sure this season goes as smoothly and as safely as possible. That's always really the end goal, is to make sure everybody stays safe but has fun while doing it. So we're here to teach. We are here to mold students into respectful young adults, and sports is a great way to do that. So we hope to hear from you all. We hope to get those physicals in as soon as possible. And again, any questions, please feel free to reach out. This is me signing off. Check this out on YouTube. Check it out in your emails, and I will send you guys all the slide deck. Have a good one.